Greetings, Dan Halligan from Kayenta Games, and I'm back in the video game. I had this fantasy that I was going to be cranking out a bunch of rules videos during the fulfillment process. But I did a few out of the gate, and then the bulk of the games hit Europe and North America, and I do have a day job, and pretty much all my evenings and weekends did not have time for filming, which is really time consuming for those of you who haven't done playthroughs or edited film. Anyway, things have started to settle down a little bit, and I'm back, and I want to have a little fun. Making rules videos between you and me can be a bit of a pain. There's a lot of editing, a lot of cursing, retakes as you try to get the thing just right. But I want to play a game, and at the same time I think do something very useful. I'm going to show you some new things. And one of the things I would caution any prospective designer who's going to kickstart something or use crowdfunding platform is beware the stretch goal. What you try to do before that Kickstarter is arrive with as finished a product as you can make it. You don't want to add time after the Kickstarter because so many other things are going on. You hopefully have done your homework. But what happens is this wonderful energy in the Kickstarter campaign produces all sorts of innovative stretch goals and tweaks to the project. You're giving me feedback. I love that energy. I do listen to that feedback. But what happens is those late changes have this ripple effect back through the finished product or close to the finished product, and stuff gets missed or stuff can't get play tested. So what I thought I would do here is one of those areas that couldn't get play tested in the context of that crowdfunding campaign was the upstairs downstairs servants, the market reserve with the original solo game, because I was too busy adding content. I didn't actually get a specific rule set for playing what I think is just, one of the most marvelous components of, hey, we have an intruder. Off the table. One of the marvelous components of Obsession, which is the solo game. I've got a lot of solo players. Probably one of my most common questions has been, I want to play the original solo game. I know you made a solo game for Upstairs Downstairs, but I want to play the original solo game with the Upstairs Downstairs servants, and we got a market reserve to answer some questions about. And what about the promotional tiles? And what about the promotional cards? And what about the passing rule? So I'm going to try to touch on those things here. At the same time, I have some fun and play against the most difficult opponent. And the reason I'm playing against the most difficult opponent is because the new elements, particularly the upstairs downstairs servants, should boost scoring a little bit, should give me more options. So let's see how we do. So a little housekeeping. Let's take a look at some things. First of all, I found the Hugo's Amazing Tape, Hugo, Hugo's Amazing Tape. Made a mistake, 2 mistakes. I'm an impulse buyer. And I found it, ordered it. You probably want to get the wider one and the colored one, because you can see when I use Hugo's, like on this deck, you can't see it, and finding the edge to take it off, it's reusable, is hard. And I think the thicker band is going to prevent the cards from sort of moving a little bit. Works great on the smaller cards. Love the product, but I've got to find probably the one that's about twice as thick in the colored, like I showed in the box packing video. But I just wanted you to see that. I'll go ahead and remove Hugo's and put the casual guests back. The second thing I wanted to show you was a very kind gesture by a backer, Steve Bagnall, in the home country of Obsession, who found some replica gold sovereigns. These things are gorgeous. I don't know if these things are widely available, but as a 500-pound coin in this game, This thing is just gorgeous. For the 100 pounds, he found some old silver sixpences. And he sent me a supply, and I'm going to feature them here. That makes two kind gestures. I had Rob in Australia who sent me the Nanny Narking coins, which, as you know, were so perfect for this game, even though they weren't for this game, that I passed on making coins in this project. So we're going to take a peek at these today with the beautiful, and thank you, Steve. That's my Ponsonby starting bonus here, and I'll put the replica gold sovereign back there. A couple other things. We're going to be playing with the new passing rule with the upstairs downstairs servants, the draft used with the upstairs downstairs servants, and I've drafted the useful man. So next I want to talk a little bit about the promo cards and my recommendation as it relates to promotional materials. So if you think about the core of Obsession, it's a management of resources game, but we're not dealing like with Stone Age with wood and stone, or Agricola, with sheep. We're dealing with available servants, available gentry, available tiles with the screening activity of reputation. So we're managing our resources, and part of that management of the resources is the additional resources that come by way of favors. If we start to dilute those core mechanics with really sort of wild out there cards and tiles, I think it can break the game. In fact, I know it can break the game because I broke the game one time when I just threw everything in there, and I got a whole sequence of promotional cards, and I was helpless. I couldn't do anything because those cards were not part of the core mechanics. So I recommend when you want to play with, that's not all of them, that's some that I selected. These are all the promo cards. When you're going to play with promotional tiles or promotional cards, I think pick maybe even collaboration if you're playing a competitive game. I think pick some tiles and cards that are of interest for a little bit of fun should they show up. For example, the winner, where is he? I just love to death Aston Webb, the architect that gives you a free tile. Everybody just gets so thrilled when he shows up. The Pfeifrau is great for her elaborate favors. And then I want to get in. I want to get Margaret Fairchild in. And where's Sherlock? I think we'll go with Sherlock Holmes. Let's go with Sarah Forbes Bonetta and Sherlock. There's Sherlock Holmes. I'm going to do those 5. And if you take a look at it, I've got 2 that go into the casual guest deck and 3 which go into the prestige deck. I'm going to shuffle those in off camera very carefully. Quite likely we may not run into them. We run into them, we get a little flavor. Promotional tiles. I personally think the service tiles are delightful, and there's really nothing to stop you. So here I've got the music room, the laundry, the still room, and the walled garden. Particularly with the reserve, there's going to be no clutter to the market. And so I'm going to add those in. I like those. There's some other service ones that get a little bit more radical. I'll play with those in some different games, but I'm showing you sort of an initial selection. I really want to try this East End Ha-Ha because it gives you an ongoing benefit after you play it of being able to discard naughty people. I like that, and I've never played with it. We got the North Tower from Frank Calcagno that I have played with before, and I like it, and I think it sort of has similar favors to regular tiles. Doesn't do much violence. The ornamental Hermitage falls in that same category. And the Summer House, I think, has a nice design in that it has a service-free front side. So let's go with those 8 tiles in the bag. So I'm going to toss those in the bag. Lastly, before we begin, I want to talk about how I sort of handle setup, which is a little different than the rule book. I put everything in the bag. I put all the monuments, all the tiles. I threw those promo tiles in there. And then I populate the market just by reaching in and pulling out the tiles if they qualify, if they're service tiles, or if they have a prestige rating. That's a prestige rating for those who are new to the game of 1, 2, or 3, then it qualifies for the builder's market. Otherwise, it's throw back in the bag. Same thing with the monuments. I might have more monuments. Here I'm supposed to set up for a 2-player game. If I get to that 4th monument ever drawn out, then I just throw it back in the bag. Same thing with starter guests. I just shuffle this thoroughly, and I flip over to the bottom where I'm never going to get, and I take the first 2 starter guests that are going to come along. There's my first 2 starter guests. Boom, put that back. I don't have to do anything complicated. Go with my family, and that's it. So I think that I have to sort of spell out everything in the rules about ways that you maybe want to sort different components and treat things, but I think this sort of simple approach really works very well. So I'm back. I've gone ahead and shuffled in the promo cards that I wanted to use into the appropriate deck. I've populated the builder's market. So I flash in here. Remember, there's tile sorting numbers. So here we have tile sorting numbers of 2, 14, 25, 37, 43, and 72. So if there's any competing prestige rating, I mean, it's obvious the 2 goes after the 1, but these and these were sortable by the tile sorting numbers. And as I look in there, I see a housekeeper's room. Makes me wish maybe I had started with the housekeeper, but I've got to do the draft before I'm seeing the goodies in the market. And we have my objective cards. Let's go ahead and pop back out and slide back to a good spot. And I have my objective cards, which is a couple of servant plays, a lot of money, a big group. Do I have anything there? I have nothing in the market on that big group, and the French Gardens. So I'm going to go ahead and set these over here. So keep an eye on those. Let's get busy. Round 1. So all of you know me, and my favorite tile of the whole game is in the 500-pound position in the builder's market. That's the servants' quarters. And being that I'm Ponsonby, which is why it's my favorite board, I know some people think I'm nuts. Really? Howard might be a player with that cook, but right now it's still Ponsonby. I'm gonna pick up that servants' quarters. I very much want it. I like the housekeepers. I like service tiles. You know I like service tiles. So let's go ahead and bring out this combo of cards. My thinking here is that I want to get teed up for the village fair. I have the ability to get 500 on the village fair with that useful man. I'm going to go to the private study because I have enough money as family Ponsonby with the 200 to get that. I can even discount it. And then I can save this for a bit of a money play later based upon what gets scavenged and what shows up. So we'll go ahead and play this. We'll enjoy 200 pounds. We're up to 500. And we look at 2, keep 1. And we have Walter Tuttle, Esquire, the handsome and heir to an income of 800 pounds per annum. Mr. Tuttle lives a dissolute life. My first card I ever made. I think I've said that every time he's shown up. John Ambrose, Esquire. The family of the handsome Mr. Ambrose has little wealth but boasts an illustrious genealogy. He's going to stick around, and he is not. Now, normally, just for efficiency, I'm flicking them over there. Normally, cards always go, whether it's objective cards or whether it's gentry cards, if they're discarded, they go at the bottom of the deck. But I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. So I picked up Mr. Ambrose. Goes into my discard pile. I'll do that so you can see it on camera. I break down. I flip the private study. I am ready for that village fair. And I'm going to swoop in here. Now the question becomes, do I want to use him? If I use him, he's an expended service. I get to round 2. I still could use him because he would refresh, but I can doubly use him because he could be just 1 turnout in the servants' corners, and I can use him. So I'm going to discount it so that I have only 400 to pay. I'm going to pick him up, And I have the beloved servants. Hold on, I have to give it a kiss. I have the beloved servants' quarters. And now it is time to scavenge. So we slide our tiles down, reach into the bag, and we pull out a tennis court. And we have a 5. We look on our card. We see position 5 to 7 is position. No, man, I wanted the housekeeper's room. Son of a gun. Hey, we got Simon's haha, the East End haha. I've never seen that tile in one of my games. I'm going to be interested to play with that. That's one that allows you to dismiss somebody. How thematic is that? The dismissal is because they fall off the edge of the haha, which is why it's called a haha. I think that's really cool. Credit to Simon on that. So we're in round 2. We're going to rotate service. Now I'm going to take a very close look here because I'm going to be doing a closed courtship, obviously. That means our theme card is going to get revealed at the end of the first season. And in doing that closed courtship, I want to position myself to be ahead or tied in these categories. I'm tied right now here. I'm tied here. I'm trailing here. I'm trailing here. And I'm trailing here. But I've got an opportunity to flip 2 tiles. So I should be able to be tied or ahead in 4 of the 5. Because this here, if I flip it, I'm at 2, I'd be tied. This one, if I flip it, I would be at 2 and I would be ahead. So I'm thinking I've got ladies' service available, and I have ladies available. I'm thinking that I want to get ahead in a prestige courtship. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. We have no money to enjoy, but we do have 3 reputation. In addition, we have an invite. Oh, love this picture. Sir Bentley Churchill, Baronet. Sir Bentley lacks all propriety of his father. All the propriety of his father, pursues ladies with abandon, and is quite wealthy. Well, you know, that's like a mini American heiress. So I'm actually not disappointed about that. I always like sources of money early. I can get rid of unsavory characters as time goes on. We also have an invite from the young lady. And this one is a new upstairs, downstairs guest, the Honorable Ann Bennett. Miss Bennett has acquired a reputation as a consummate hostess at a young age. She gets the ladies screening function. That's quite nice, and she's a victory point. Pleased about that. So let's go ahead and break this down. And I think I'm going to pick that music room up in the market. It's only £100, which I have, and it's going to give her a permanent favor of 1 reputation because she has been trained by Signor Adolfo Pirelli. I'm sure I butchered that Italian pronunciation. Is retained to instruct the young lady who permanently adds a reputation favor. So that's cool. I'm going to put that in the discard pile. Slide these down. And look, we're getting promotional tiles. We got a summer house. I don't think I mixed those too well. But that's a good tile. I mean, that's a good sound fundamental tile. I don't see an issue with that. So we got, look in that market now, 1s and 2s. We got a lot of very useful tiles. We've got new Wessex tiles. We've got a new Obsession 2nd Edition tile. And we got 2 promo tiles. How cool is that? See, that's what I like. You know, I want a little sidebar here. We obviously get a very unique experience given the size of the bag and the mix of the gentry that I think makes for different theme, different story, sort of a different unfolding of the game each time you play. Somebody might be saying, show me a drawing room. I want a drawing room, or I need a particular tile for one of my objectives. But to me, that extensive variety that's all sort of grounded in theme, I think that's a plus for variety. Anyway, off my high horse, let's go ahead and scavenge. We have a 15. We look at our card. 15 is position 6. Sorry, summer house is gone. That's a bummer. Reach in the bag. We got a croquet lawn. Look at the useful tiles early. Okay, so now we go to the village fair. This is important to understand for the use of the servants. follow the order of the play. The first thing that is done when that round track marker advances is that we rotate service. The second thing is done is we check the round track for a particular activity. We also consider our monuments or a servants' hall, which I don't have. And we see a village fair. I am allowed then to place my useful man on the private study, sending my useful man down to the village fair to help in the construction of stalls, moving things around, and helping prepare for the fair that's on the family's property in the village. So that nets me a beautiful gold sovereign right here. Let's take another look at that. Man, thing's beautiful. And it also gets me 2 reputation and bumps me to the second level. I immediately go back for this turn, and I want to look here. I'm tied, I'm trailing, I'm ahead, and I'm thinking I'm going to want to make a purchase, and I can tie. So I can actually be in a position where I'm only losing that estate, and I could actually reverse that if I wanted to win the estate and lose the sporting. There's nothing but my gut instinct, but that's going to allow me to purchase. If I had a cook, I would have been all over that out of the gate. And as I look out here, I want a path. One of the most important things in playing a game is to get a path. And I have options for a path. I have a south lawn. And look at that. The south lawn, being a hybrid tile, would allow me to recover, and I also get positive points on a green tile. I think I'm going after that south lawn. So let's go ahead and, going after that south lawn, I can get it here. But I think I'm going to go to the main gazebo. And that would permit me to really bump my reputation a little bit. I'm going to play her in here. Now, I have the servants' quarters, so I can take that lady's maid. I have that valet. And now I have a really nice play and a great purchase awaiting me. So money, none. Reputation, I have 2. I have a screened invite, just like the lady of the house. And good, because Charles Hobart, no. We're taking Sarah Forbes Bonetta. Beautiful 4 victory points because of her exquisite relationship with the Queen and reputation without service. That's fantastic. It goes there. And then my next invite is going to be the first dip into here. And the Baron Ivan Andreevich Narishkin. Baron Narishkin, I should read all these because Sarah's a former West African princess rescued from slavery and befriended by the court of the Queen. Baron Narishkin, a Muscovite noble and world travelers, discovered the rolling Derbyshire countryside. Wonderful, like that. And we're done here. I'm going to go ahead and break that down. I'm now tied in everything but sporting. So put that in the discard pile. And we're going to purchase the south lawn. Put that here. Cost me $500. Slide those down. I'm going to reach deep in the bag into a different location and see if I get a different result. And I got a retiring room. Now that's interesting. So retiring room comes down, stacks there. Go back to the bag. At no time do we leave empty spots in the market. That doesn't happen. And I pull out a cricket field. Okay, we now have a scavenge that's going to take place. We have 17. 17 on our card is no purchase, so nothing happens. So now we're on to Courtship. And, I take breaks when I film, and I pop it into Premiere Pro, and I review some of the content, and I try to edit out as much downtime as possible. Of course, I never have a short video. But I edited out one of the reasons that I purchased this music room was because it gave me an advantage. As I take a look here, we're leading in service because we have 2 victory points to 1. We're tied here in estate. We're leading here, and we're trailing here, and we're tied here. So we're leading in 2. We're tied in 2. Let's see what Courtship holds. Don't be green. Oh, God. Man, oh man. Now a VP card goes over to Ainsley. Can you believe that? Well, if there's any evidence that I'm not cooking the books here while I'm filming this, that certainly is it. So now a couple of things happen at this point in time. First, we need to discard one of our 5 objective cards that we acquired at setup. I haven't seen anything for this very difficult group objective, so I'm going to part ways with that. Again, that would normally go in the bottom of the deck. I'm being lazy. So it leaves me these 4 here, which I haven't really made any progress towards, although I'm going to... Oh, I didn't put him into expended service after round 3. I'm going to probably pick up this female servant bonus here with my hiring pass action coming up in a moment. Next thing is you'll see the service tile reserve begins here. Let me focus in on that a little bit. So you can see the service tile reserve. And the service tile reserve is a mechanism to prevent clogging of the market of what we would consider the lowest significant renovations, which would be service tiles. Right now we don't have any service tiles, so no action takes place. We do have a prestige rating 1 reserve, which would have gobbled up 3 tiles and pushed them over into this spot. And it will do that at the end of season 2 if anything's still hanging around. So we go on to round 5. Let's rotate service. And I'm going to make a decision here. I've got cards to play, but I'm going to pass. And the reason I'm going to pass, and this is a new dynamic with a new passing flow chart. If we bring it up here, we pass, we reclaim our deck, which I just did. We refresh all of our service, goes over that fashion. And I have a choice of collecting 200 in rents, hiring servants, or refreshing the builder's market. I'm going to go ahead and hire servants. This is earlier than I otherwise would have passed. The reason is I'm letting a chunk of the game get away from me without having some of the very powerful abilities of those new servants. And if I want to satisfy this objective here, which is to bring the cook and the head housemaid on board so I have those 4 servants, I really should do it at a point where I can use the cook. Nothing in the market, excuse me, nothing in the market really grabs me. So I don't feel like I'm compelled to go ahead and make that bowling green play right now. So I am going to do that pass. When you pass, you still hire conventionally. You don't just get free servants. So that goes there. I have to use the butler. I'm going to acquire the lovely ladies. Flip this and further solidify my strength in service. So right here you can see as we take a look to season 2. Right now I'm leading here, tied here. If I can get the south lawn flipped, I would take a lead there, or I could maybe grab that east end haha. And then prestige starts to go up, but that retiring room might be an option. And then we have 2 victory points in sporting. So I don't have any money to spend. I've done my hiring action. Let's scavenge. 18. If you read here, it says, if no purchase, next turn subtract 5 from the roll. And that's what we're going to do because we did not purchase in the 3rd round. So that's now functionally a 13. We look at our card and we're going to take from position 5, which is the croquet lawn. One of my favorite money tiles for an early path. But I did pick the south lawn. I hate to see that go. Great utility there. Now we go on to round 6. Whoop, let me populate the market there. All right, we've got the largest wine cellar, so we've got a service monument in place. That's the worst thing I could have seen because I was going a long way to wrapping up the service courtship for the next couple of seasons, maybe for the whole game, and now this thing is out there. That's a disaster. Furthermore, I didn't mention it, but I'm playing the monument variant with the solo opponent, meaning Any monuments that they scavenge gets added to their score. Yes, I know I'm making a very difficult challenge for me, but it's my thought process that playing with the upstairs, downstairs servants, that the monument variant may be all that's necessary to sort of keep the level of challenge at a very difficult level. So let's see how that turns out. I want to try to get that wine cellar. I can get 300 here, and I've got a full and healthy deck of cards. Let's rotate service. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the bowling green. And now I got to see what kind of money I can drag out of the market. Now I can go with Sir Bentley and grab 300 there, and go with Theodore Earl Ponsonby here. So that to me looks to be the best play. So let me put that there so you can see. I'll tell you what, let me start flashing in on some of these. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and provide service there. And no invites, so I'm not gonna be able to use, you know what I am gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and grab, oh, you know what I can do? Let me pause that. I'm taking away the Earl. And I'm going to Baron Narishkin. No, I'm not. I need a second valet. I was going to use the cook with the Baron Narishkin. Sorry. So anyway, where do we stand? This is a pure money play. I have 300, 600, 800. I can discount that, so that's 900. I do have to lose 2 service here. And I need to lose 2 more. You're shrieking your horror to get 100 pounds as a special action in order to get to that 900. Boy, the Baron Narishkin would have been nice if I had a second valet. So we do purchase this and pick it up. We're going to lock that up. We're going to grab this reminder tile. We're going to pop it there. Go to expended service. This goes to the discard pile. Let me pop out there. We're going to flip the bowling green, and we now are leading in the sporting category. So if you go ahead and take a look, we're leading, season 2 leading. Need to do something there, trailing there, dominant there. We've got that for the rest of the game, tied there. And look, they're going to really start to deal with essentials here in season 3 and 4, so I got to get moving. I know all of you are shouting at me because I moved my pawn over here to round 6, and I forgot to take my 2 objective cards at the beginning of this, but I didn't follow my order of play. And I pick up a prestige. And yes, I would like to have 3 valets. I didn't have 3 valets, and it cost me dearly in the realm of reputation. Reaching in, I'm grabbing. I have a carriage house. Now, the carriage house is a service tile. The service tile reserve is active, so that gets cleared. And go back in the bag. And I have the ornamental hermitage. That is another promotional tile. Let's see what the scavenge does. We have 15. 15 is going to be position 6. That was a short-lived visit of the ornamental hermitage. And we're going to dig deep here and pull in the main library. And we go to round 7. Going to rotate our service. So we rotated our service. We need our point of reputation for our largest wine cellar monument. We've taken it there. And we know the plan. We're going to go ahead and use a hybrid tile. Don't flip it yet, Dan. South lawn. We're going to grab from our servants' quarters. Pull in that footman. And I need 2 ladies, and I'm going to go with these 2 ladies. Sarah Forbes Bonetta is going to give me a nice little reputation bump. And I'm going to get a good screened invite from Miss Ann Bennett. So let's take our 300 pounds. And as far as reputation, we have 2. That gets us off the schneid, gets us to the 2nd level of reputation. And we get look at 2, keep 1 when it comes to the casual guests. 2 unscreened invites, even though I got And by the way, I didn't use the head housekeeper here because she's already screened. I could go look at 3, keep 1, but I felt the standard screen was good. And then I could have used the cook for a reputation, but I really want to get Baron Narishkin out next turn if I can. So I'm going to go with this guy, no service, and he brings a little variety. Put that there in the pile, and let's go ahead and break down and take a look at what this courtship is going to be. That's going to flip into here. So we're looking for an estate category or a service category for our courtship. Oh, I did forget I have 300 pounds. And I do want to get a path going here, because what am I going to play next turn? I don't want to flip that out of there. That's double playing a tile. Oh, but slow up. Wow. I maybe want to play that. Do I want to bank that 300 and flip it back? I think I might like to do that. So I'm going to bank that 300 and let's go to courtship. All right, please, baby. I think estate. Service! Yes. Service is outstanding. That is my category. That'll also be counted in the final courtship. Things are turning up a little bit. So we're going to grab the lovely Miss Elizabeth, and we're going to grab a VP card, and dang nation, that is one that I'm going to execute right out of the gate. So I'm going to turn that one in, and I'm going to grab, come on, invite, give me the trifecta. Didn't get it. She's not all that great. Well, let me read her. She's a new card from upstairs, downstairs. This is Lady Catherine Jacquemot. The daughter of a Flemish duke, Lady Catherine visits the Marchioness of Easton annually on holiday. Not a bad card, not the card I was hoping for. But you know what I think I did forget to do? Before courtship, I forgot to scavenge for the AI. And I get a 15, and 15 is going to take the main library out. And let's plunge in here. That was for a fenced paddock. Now that's going to be cleared because of what's coming up next. So we completed our courtship. I got the Miss Elizabeth card. I went and cashed in on my VP card to get another prestige guest. And what we do now is we need to discard one of these cards. And I don't think that's going to happen. No, getting rid of that. And then we have the Prestige 1 reserve. Look at this, 5 tiles, because there were 2 of the retiring room. Go clear. And now, this is an example where we are partially populating the market of more than one open space. We're going to use the tile sorting numbers for the remaining open spaces. The existing tiles slide down, so we don't reorganize the whole market. We just reorganized the 4 open spaces. So I'm digging deep, and I'm trying to get to a different part of the action here. Okay, we're getting stuff. We're getting very interesting stuff. Okay, this is here. Whoop, I dropped you on my microphone. And this goes here. And we need 2 more. Get up here. Sorry. And this barn comes over here. This gives you an example of the reserve working overtime. And if you didn't have the reserve doing this, this would be clogged up with non-productive tiles. So this is the smoking room goes here. The billiards room, which is just a delightful tile. The West Terrace, which has an invite. And the monument. Remember, this monument, if it gets in the hands of Ainsley, it's going to count towards their final score. That's going to be 8 victory points. And they will preferentially look to harvest monuments here. So I'm very nervous about that monument situation. So now we're going on to the next round. And beginning of season 3, we have a village fair. First of all, order of play, we rotate service. I'm going to take my useful man, send him off to the village fair to labor on behalf of the family. I get 500, and that may help me get that monument, which is a big deal. I'm also going to take 2 reputation. And check this play out, people. This gets me excited here. We're going to the south lawn. I'm taking the footman from the servants' quarters because I have the servants' quarters. And I'm going to play, check this out. Here's who I'm inviting. So I have, let me see if I can do it this way. Uh-oh. Those of you who have the second edition will recognize Duchess Lilo, who I cannot command to do anything. I'm below her on the pecking order. I'm going back here. So I'll visit that in a second. So what we have is 3 gentry and 2 families. So I have my 2 family. It has to be exactly the 2 family. And then I have the 3 gentry. And I have Baron Narishkin, so I'm using the cook. I'm going to use the invite here to try to get my engine. I think I'm going to do that. I've got the Baron Narishkin here. Would you look at that? We are going to enjoy 300 pounds here, and we're going to take 100 pounds from the young man in the choice. I'm going to turn in 100, and I'm going to take a second gold sovereign. I get to my reputation. Check this out. I've got 2 here. I've got an admirer bonus with the young lady with the Baron Narishkin, plus the young lady has been trained in music, so I actually get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for her music training. So that flips me all the way to 3, up 1, but actually the cook produces 1, and that gets me to 4. Swing me around top. How about that? And next we get to our invites. I have 2 unscreened single invites. That's a little scary. Let's see what we got. Please, don't be nasty. All right, I got 1 pauper, but she's not a horrible pauper. And Honorable Thomas Fleek. Is that Fleek or Fleck? I think it's Fleck. So those 2, not too bad, given I've got those 2 blind invites. Look at 2, keep 1 here. Trying to build that engine. Yes, indeed. Ooh, but he's very service intensive. I'm going to go ahead and take Crispin, Viscount Chetwynd. Widowed 2 years previously, the debonair Viscount is rumored to be romancing a wealthy Bakewell dowager. That's going over there. Put that there. And then I have 1 for the South Lawn. I have 1 here. Oh, the hitters are getting heavy, people. Richard, Duke of Longford, the wealthiest resident of Derbyshire. The Duke cherishes the rolling hills and green countryside. Prospects have turned up dramatically. Very pleased with that play. I've gone ahead and cleaned up there, and I love when I have the servant pyramid because that means I had a big turn. And I have the money I need. Over here, this is 1,100. I have 1,200. At 1,200 goes there. I pull in that. That is going to put me ahead in this category for the full duration of the game. I'm severely deficient in these 2, given the projection of how Ainsley's going to finish. But I think if I leave that south lawn there and pick up perhaps the billiards room or the cricket field, I might be able to lead in that as well. And we pull out a stateroom, which may help me get in the game over here. So we now have a scavenge. 8. Bring up our card. That is position 3, smoking room. I love the smoking room. But given my turn I just had, I'm not going to weep. And I just brought in a Heritage Guest Suite. And we're on to round 10. Let's rotate our servant pyramid. Now it's going to make things a little light here. Makes me wonder, I'm probably going to want to pass sometime before this to prep for a big holiday. And I'm wondering, I've got that Duke Longford. I shouldn't have got rid of those 3 valets because I could use 3 valets now and play that cricket field on the national holiday. That bums me out. Let's rotate service. Let's take our 1 reputation 2 reputation for our 2 monuments. That's looking up. And I don't have a path, and that's a little disappointing. So you know what I'm going to do here, and it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy indeed. I'm going to... I don't want to replay a tile. But I need a path. I won't have a path if I come back. I was going to pass and get myself into some male servants, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to the bowling green. I'm going to take the footmen from there. I really need more footmen is what I need. And I am going to... Okay, it's a little bit of a humble event, but I need a path. I have 100. I'm going to get 200. I'm going to put service here. And that is going to get me 200, get me up to 300. I think I'm able to go maybe in the reserve and do something. And I get a single invite here. Don't hurt Daddy. And he's excellent. I like him a lot. Another male, though. I'm going to have that cricket match. I've got to do something about male service. And I look at 2, keep 1. Oh, look at that. Ha ha. I got Aston Webb. Free tile. Oh, I want to use that for that stateroom. Jeez, I do indeed. And we're done here. Let's break down. Let's flip that, not flip that bowling green. And let's put these 2 in the discard pile. And we've got 300 and we need a path, and that path is going to be the tennis court. Now I've got to get that played because that takes me 1 down. Maybe I can play it next round. So that 300 goes here. Scavenge. We have a 10. Position 3. Whoop, let me put one. I got to see if there's a monument here which would change things up. I keep catching my cords. Sorry about shaking you. Cabinet of Curiosities. Wow, that's big. Stays with the 10. Stays with position 3. That's a West Terrace. Lose a potential prestige guest invite there. And wow, the prestige ones are rolling out now. And that's where we are. We're going to the Builder's Holiday. I'm poor, so not much is going to happen there. Can I get that tennis court? Let's see. Let's rotate service. Take our 2 reputation. Builder's Holiday allows as many purchases as we want in the market. Well, I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to the tennis court. I'm going to put her up there, coming with Duke of Longford, and coming with the Lady Catherine Jacquemont. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Don't have a need for her. And that is a heck of a tennis match. So what do we get? We get 300 and 600. We get 900. We get 3 reputation. 1, 2, 3. And we get a VP card. Ooh. Yeah, hang on to that one. And break it on down. Great little play there. Flip that. That now puts us ahead in the sporting courtship. Sorry, my brain's starting to fry a little bit. You have to be patient with me. That's what happens with these playthroughs. You sort of slowly, your cognitive ability starts to wear down. So you try to juggle too many things in your head. So that was fantastic. And I am going to buy, I most certainly am. You know, why didn't I play Aston Webb? Well, you know, that was a high... I should have played Aston Webb with the Duke, but too late. Can't go back on that. I still have money, and I still can afford on my own steam the stateroom, which I'm going... Ooh, I love that cabinet. I'm going to go to the stateroom. And slide this down. Please leave the cabinet there. If I grab the cabinet, man, I might really be in games. North dining room. Okay, scavenge. 10 back, coming to the Heritage Guest Suite. Left the cabinet there. That makes me happy. Babbling Brook. Hybrid tile. That's an interesting tile. Keep an eye on that. Okay. And we are to a Courtship number 3. Let's take a look how we stand. We look, we're ahead there. We're ahead there. We're way behind there. We're behind there, although we're doing better. And we're ahead there. So we are 60% chance of winning this Courtship. Come on, baby. Yeah, no. I got the wrong thing. No, I lost that Courtship. So let me dig out the lovely Elizabeth. Put her back. Ansley's visiting Elderly Hall. They're garbage. They're the Warleggins. Stay away from them. And we now go to discarding a card. I don't think I'm making much of a prestige play. This here is I need to finish the game with one of each male servant. I only need to get a hall boy. Haven't seen the French Garden. I don't think much is going to happen here, but I think that's less likely. I'm going to get rid of that. I got that 4 there. If I were to take this objective card off of this victory point card, I would have an additional scoring objective. I would not still have to discard down to 3 for a standard game. So we now get to round 13, and I am going to pass. I want to be in preparation for this one here. I have some good guesses. I want to play the Duke twice, get another card. I'm going to play Aston Webb. So I'm going to claim my deck. I'm going to flow these down. I am going to use the hiring action. I'm going to pick up that hall boy, because that hall boy is going to let me complete this objective. I don't have the under butler. Oh shit. Excited. The butler's pantry. No, I thought the butler's pantry was over in the reserve. I don't believe it. Okay, I got to think that. I'm still passing. Probably should have discarded that, although I don't think that's critical. You know what? Let me look at my cards. Going offline for a bit. Not going to get the young man. Sorry about that. Getting a valet. I'm actually getting 2 valets. I got a lot of heavy hitting. That's funny. I would have completed that other objective. This comes down. This goes here. Okay. Do I want to purchase? I have 200. Let me take a look here. Ooh. I was going to say I could get the carriage house, which allowed me to increase my invite. I don't think that's... I'm going to bank that. I think I'm going to bank that. And so... Get up here. Look, I dragged you way back. It's getting to the ragged end. So here we go. We passed there. We do have... I'm not going to shop. We're going to have a scavenge. We have a 14. That's going to be position 5. They get the north dining room. Have fun with that. And... I'm going to go in here and pull out the green room. Okay, got the green room. And we're now on to the national holiday. I'm going to rotate service. I got those 2 guys for the national holiday, but I can only use one of them because of the servants' quarters. Well, I could refresh. We'll see what we got. I'm going to go offline and then bring up everybody here all at once. All right, so I have... Let me read it. I have the Duke of Longford. I have Lady Margaret Carlow, the young lady, her mother, Baron Narishkin, Lady Catherine, and Viscount Chetwynd. I have this valet here. I'm taking that out of the servants' quarters to get me a valet here. I'm going to trade away 3 reputation, which will bring me down to 4. To get this valet here, I'm going to grab her here. I'm going to take the screening action of the head housemaid, and I'm going to use it on the young lady to avoid any trouble. I'm going to use the cook here for reputation. Oh. scratch that thought. You know what? He's not that important. So I'm going to actually be refreshing with that 3 reputation. The butler and not a valet. And that means I could invite another lady. I don't think I have, you know. She's not bad. Bring her here. Go like that. Apologize for that little misstep. And so let's look at our dollars. We have 600, and that's it from the Duke. Milking the Duke during his visit. And we have in reputation, we have 3 for the young lady, plus the fact that she has been trained in music, so she gets, I said 3, yeah, 3 for the young lady. 3 here, that's 6. 6 and 5 is 11. So that brings me, I'm going to count it out because it's to max. So it's going to be 1, so I've got 10 to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I don't believe I took the cook, which puts me to max. So I am at max. And I have the following invites. Look at 2, keep 1. So this the young lady would have got automatically. That's a bad guy. And she was able to screen and get to Miss Adelaide Howe. So he's gone. So that's the value of that screening action. We have another, oh no, she's going to use her dismissal action because I have a couple bad actors. And Bentley Churchill is -3, so I'm getting rid of him. Come over here, another screen action. And I think I want Lady Victoria Turner, the beautiful niece of the Earl of Kellynch. Lady Victoria is a twin and a lover of continental culture. And then I am over here. Oh, no, I took that. Did I take that 3 there? Yes, I did. And then I have one here. Come on. Very nice. This is a Wessex card. The sad dowager has endured a lifetime of tragedy, but she's very well connected in London society. Boom! How's that for a national holiday? Let's break it down. We think we had a pyramid before. We are going to have a full college football pyramid here. Come on up top. There we go. Stateroom flips, which gets us to 10, which is 1 short. Maybe I can make a purchase here to put us in the lead there. And so we're going to drag all these wonderful people out, set them aside. Let me tidy up my tableau. I've been sort of bumping into things. And I have 800. And I don't think there's any question I'm taking 600 here. And actually, I'm going to make it 500 because let's go in and look at that. Now, is that the bomb? Normally I'd stand them up. I don't like lay them down, but you can't see them so well when I stand up. Is that cool? So this actually puts me in the lead for prestige. Leading, trailing badly there, which is what she just pulled. If she pulls a double estate, I'm going to just tear my hair up. So, okay, we now have a scavenge action. After I populate, servants' hall, that goes down. I really think the reserve can be interesting when you're playing with a bunch of players. Smoking room back out. Because you can really, and if you save a little money for that builder's holiday, you can really sort of bump up your service engine, which I just love. And those early first level tiles can be a little bit of a courtship kicker when you need one for very cheap. A scavenge action for the AI. 3, that'll be the first spot. You got yourself the cricket field. I had passed on that idea. And plunge in here. Get that. Main thing I want is Ainsley to get a library right now. I'm sorry, not a library, a monument. Again, we're at the home stretch and the brain's not functioning really well. So I'm coming down here, and we definitely, that's the great thing about the Cabinet of Curiosities, only a couple people. I got that footman available, and I've got Where is he? Come to Papa. I sent him back to the Baron Narishkin and Aston Webb. How's that for a visit to the Cabinet of Curiosities? Is that cool? The Russian and the architect, and my manor is going to walk away with an extra renovation. And look, I have that servant. I want to pretend I'm good like this, but that is total serendipity. Now, I want to show you something. You can take special actions at... Whoa, did I not pay? I don't think I paid the $500. Oh, sorry about that. You can take special actions at any time during your turn. And I know that I'm going to max out. I've got 4, and look, I've got 6. So I know if I take 2, I can take an extra 100 pounds now before I start my favors. I get 300 from Baron Narishkin. Do that. And I get a tile. Well, before I get the tile, let me do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 right there. Came from that. And now that allows me to spend 4 and refresh this market. I started catching on this. Sorry. I love getting to max reputation and using that ability. Now, I would have a risk here if I had a monument. That one goes there. That one goes there. I don't want really a monument to show up if I can. Oh my God. Garden maze. All right, let's set this baby up. North dining room. Wow, that's a power refresh. Would you look at that? Long gallery. North tower. That's a 147. That's a 140. Great hall and a garden maze. All right. I'm caught on. I might have lost the game in this refresh. I'm gonna get you out of the cradle and come here and look at it. So that's my market refresh. My idea was to get into something like this. You see the front side positive victory points? But look what I've left out there is I've left out a garden maze that I can't afford, and if I spend reputation, I'm going to lose 7 victory points for dropping the top layer of reputation. And there's going to be a preferential scavenge of that monument, and those points will be counted by Ansley. So I may have just doomed myself, so let's do what we're going to do. I'm going to grab the long gallery here for 600. Break this down. Discard pile. Cabinet flips. Long gallery goes up here. Are you ready? Let me slide this down. 1 to 8. 1 to 8. And Ainsley gets that monument. 15. You might have said that's a little bit of a wimpy roll. They get the tennis court. And we go on to final courtship. How about that? So let's roll the final courtship. Prestige, and boy, I rounded into shape on that, didn't I? Didn't I? So on the final courtship, we count all 4. And so if you look here, we have 7, 10, 19, 29, 36. I've got that blown away. I've got 8, 6, 14, 15, 16, 17. $18, $19, maybe not. $20, $21, $25, $32, $40. Whew. For a second there, boy, that last play bailed my bacon, didn't it? So I'll take the young lady back with me. I'll take another victory point card. And let's go off to final scoring. Okay, here we are, and I've gone ahead and totaled some things. Couple of notes: I forgot to put Aston Webb after I got my free tile under the bottom of the deck. So that detail I'm sure somebody was squawking about. I've gone ahead and totaled stuff up. Let's come in here a little bit. So I had 47 for my tableau. I had, I had 38 for my cards, but I had a pauper, so it brought it down to 36. I had only 10 in objective cards. I forgot to discard one at the end of that courtship. I was all excited, but I had no shot at that, so I was going to discard that. And 28 for reputation, 20 for servants, 0 for wealth. I had only 1 money, and 7 for courtship cards. Brings me to 148. So Ainsley is 129, and 9 is 138. So if they had gotten that monument, that would have given them 145. I still would have won. So it was 148 to 138 for Ainsley. That got a little scatterbrained at the end. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the playthrough. I do think the monument variant is sufficient. I was very lucky in avoiding them getting that monument and being able to make a play and get those monuments. You could see if a couple of those monuments got scavenged at a 40% rate, that Ainsley could have easily won that game, even though I think I played very well. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll have more to come.